It's June 18th, 2025. We're looking downriver from a point abeam of Lee's Ferry. Over here is the main raft launching area. To the right of the little white boat, at the right end of the yellow raft, is private launch area. Everything else is commercial launch area. So there's going to be a whole bunch of launches this morning. We'll look in on those later. Down there, kind of lurking behind the green, there's another dock, and that is for trips that go upriver to Horseshoe Bend. They go 10 miles upriver, turn around and come back. It's about a 3-hour trip. And then possibly the most important thing here is that little building to the left, which contains the restrooms. So we'll take a look at a few boat departures in a little while.
Have anything else to speak about? I'll talk to you at lunch. I'll go through a little more extensive orientation to give you an idea of what to expect on a daily basis and things such as that. They're asking us to do a hand wash.
Demo right there?
Right, so maybe Hannah can show you that. So they're asking us to wash your hands before we get you on the boat the first round because we don't know where you came from.
There's 4.
All the way down, we got 2 frames sitting on that, inside of that donut. And then we got side tubes, side pontoons lashed on each side. So with this big donut, there's actually a lot of flex in some of these waves down here. It tends to flex quite a bit. And so there's a couple of flex points that we want you to be aware of. This is one of them right here. Right here at the front, we call this the beaver. And it's strapped on with these black straps, but it is a flex point. So if you guys find yourselves up front sitting on this white cushion, be very cautious of this area right here. It's a big piece of metal on a hinge. Okay? Big hinge right here. This is where you don't want your toes, your feet, your hands, fingers, anything around this space. This is not a good seat. During the day, please stay off the beam board, even right here. Carson's going to ask you to try. Okay? So, if you're up front, again, what you want to hang on to is not the metal. You want to find something that bends, like something that's pliable, like a strap or a rope. Okay? So what we have here, look at these ones right here, guys. See this white rope? These run, here's got that one, Carson's got that one. These run all the way down the frame on both sides of the boat. These are the best handholds on the boat.
It's going to work here today and then on.
If you find yourself anywhere along this cushion, it's good. It's really important to have 2 handholds. This might fit you in the river if the time is right, the waves break just right. So 2 handholds, typically we call it 2 opposing handholds. Instead of hanging on like this, you end up going head over heels. 2 opposing handholds, you can kind of be a little more aggressive, a little more athletic stance. You can catch the waves and be ready for that. Up here too, we have some loose ends. You guys can hang on to these. If you're sitting in the middle, you can hang on to the rope, something like that. It's called the weenie tube. And this is the other flex point in the boat. Okay? So right in the middle, when we hit those big waves especially, that boat's going to flex right there. So, it's also a place to be kind of cautious where you put your hands and your feet. So it tends to open up a little bit right there. Big time. Right here, right in the parking is showing you. So be careful not to have your hands in there, your feet in there. Make sure you're kind of in the ground in a safe space. Also, that weenie tube does open up items, personal belongings drop into the river. So actually, if that weenie tube in there, we're looking straight down the river. So there's a front frame in the front. The weenie tube just covers that space. So if you guys have rain gear or something hanging out, make sure it's always tied on or in your bag or stuff like that. Because if it's stuffed in right next to that weenie tube, could open up, drop into the river. Then what happens? Maybe it's gone. Maybe it ends up in our prop. So it might end up in our engine prop, and then that's a bigger problem. So when you lose gear, make sure it's tied down. Good?
I'll talk to you mile.
Moving further back to the boat. Seats back here with a cushion on them behind the weenie tube. This is definitely the drier spot on the boat. We don't want to get super wet. We're going to sit back here. We call this the princess seat. So if you want that title, be the princess of the day. Typically the princess seat also houses all the snacks. The princess or prince might have on the bottom on the side so you can pass out snacks and stuff like that. But it is definitely wet in front.
Just make sure you can't sit
If you guys are up front
You guys
and you're feeling a little cold, you know, you can get hypothermic. Even though it's hard to believe, right? It's really hard to believe. But once we crash some big waves, if we have a few rapids in a row for a couple hours, people can get cold. So watch, we're on that buddy system. If you see your buddies' lips getting blue or they're shivering, let's rotate. Rotate out with the princess seat, turn your back. Actually, for the princess seat is about as far back as we want people to sit.
like that's a key.
Nothing back here because this is called the boat box.
Like I got to do.
Carson gets into this box literally 100 times a day. So this is not a good seat. Past the boatman's box, there's a bunch of ammo cans, a bunch of sharp objects, gas tanks, motors, all kinds of stuff that's just a little unsafe to be back there. But again, you're welcome to come back. You need to use the bathroom, tee off the back of the boat.
Hayden, will you grab those things right there and that thing? There you go. Or the outside.
Yeah, we have water.
Have water.
We got jugs, we got coolers. We have one on each side of the boatman's box. So you guys are welcome to fill up if you ever run low on water. You can also pass it back. Sometimes the princess seat also becomes the bartender. So you can pass the water bottles back and you can have to fill up water bottles. So you don't have to walk all the way back there. Help each other, pass the water bottles back.
Josh.
Yes, sir.
A little further on the loose line right there, though.
Really good question.
What was the question?
The question is what happens if you fall off? Okay? So,
You want to come back here?
let's try not to fall off. I don't guys have two golden handholds and we're all paying attention. We'll give you guys a good head before we hit the white water. But if you do end up, if you're hanging on tight, there's a really good chance you're going to stay there. If it happens, and it has happened a few times here and there, if you find yourself in the river, just remember, you're on vacation. Okay, don't forget that. But we do have a couple of specific things to tell you. If you find yourself in the river, there's this thing called rapid position where you just orient yourself downstream, facing downstream, with your feet out in front of you. Okay, so if there are rocks out in front of you, you can kind of maneuver around those with your legs and feet. Okay? The second thing, if you find yourself in the river, try to make eye contact with myself. And if we make eye contact, we're going to start to communicate to you guys. We're going to communicate to you guys. In some cases, we might say, swim to the boat. If we're like in a good spot, we feel like we can get you back in and the reason. If we're in between the boat and yourself, in between a wall nearby, a big rock, we might say, don't swim to the boat because we're going to get you close to something. We might say, swim to shore. So remember, self-rescue is a big part of the boat. Okay? If you can swim to shore or come to this point, swim to shore. We're always going to point positive. So if we point to shore, that means swim to shore. If we're saying this, that means swim to us. Okay? So there's a couple more things. If you end up kind of far away from the boat and there's a lot of space out there, we might throw a rope to you. Okay? And we're going to throw this rope. Oh. Yeah, we're a good duo. So we're going to throw this rope. It's going to go over my head What you don't want to do is grab this bag, okay? Because you're going to end up going much further away from the boat. So once this goes out, you look for that rope and you grab it. And then you're going to put it over your shoulder and you're going to have your back to the boat. And Carson's going to pull you in backwards. So if I get pulled in this way, all the water is in my back and not going right down my throat, okay? So you're not going face first into that. Turn that around. That's why we also talked about the life jacket. So tight. Once you get close to the boat, that's the first thing we're going to grab. Life jacket right around your shoulders there. That's the best leverage we have. These boats are really big. It's hard to tell right now. If we end up jumping in the river at some point, you'll find out pretty quick how hard it is to get back in the boat. So, stay on the boat unless we have a designated space. Do that. A couple more things about swimmers. If you guys are on the boat and you see somebody go in the river, it's really important to get our attention. Get Carson's attention or my attention, because we have a motor back there. We have a 30 horsepower Honda, and that prop's spinning fast. So we got to be careful about anybody getting close to that thing. So again, if you see someone go in the river, you stand up and you get our attention, and you give us this signal. Okay? This means cut the motor. Turn the motor off. We'll turn that motor off, and we're gonna, reevaluate what we need to do. We need to maybe throw a rope. We need to figure out a way to get you back in the boat. One thing, we'll get the motor stopped first. We kind of see what we can do. Also, a little rule of thumb is that this is a sign that we use down here on the river, all kinds of rivers all across the world. It's a universal sign. It's like, are you okay? If I do this to you, or if Carson does this to you, you're in the river, and we're saying, are you okay? This means, are you okay? And if you are okay, you do this back to us, okay? That means, yes, I'm okay, okay? So we can all do that. Everybody do that? I'm okay. And then this is cut the motor. Now can you do them at the same time? It's like rubbing your belly. Okay, those are the signals we all need to know.
I can get them in the back.
Trash. Yeah, we'll talk about trash and soda, and then we'll hit the river. What's that? Oh, good question. Can I see that? Can I see something bag? Okay, guys. So you got another buckle on the bottom end. So this is actually where you can strap it on anywhere up here on this big duffel top, or back there if you're on the princess seat. So you can use that bottom one, clip it on, and then you still have access to your bag. So you can still get into it, but it's secure on the boat. Does that make sense? Okay. That's that. And then we've got soda and beer hanging off the boats. We just hang them in the river so they stay river cold. It takes 7 minutes to get river temperature. We've timed it many times. How much is that weight?
We each get our own?
Yeah. So guys, these are the bags that we hang off the boats, okay? These are drag bags. One is designated for soda, and the other one is designated for beer. So what you don't want to do is unclip the bag from the boat, okay? Just leave it clipped if you would, please. You can pull it up, you can open it up, and you can grab soda. Then, snug that up, and you can throw it right back in. And if you unclip it, bye-bye soda. Or bye-bye beer. This isn't always bad. You got to give something to the river gods. Make peace. Absolutely. Typically we have beer. Blue for beer, but that has soda in it. So now we're confused. Soda wet, beer right? I don't know.
Yeah, my boat's the confusing, but it is labeled soda.
So, you guys are welcome to the soda. So we provide all the soda and seltzer. You guys are welcome to those. I know some of you guys brought some beers, and we have those in bags as well. And so if you ever want to stash your own beer or pack your own beer in the morning, you're welcome to it in these boxes. We can kind of make sure you have what you need for the day. And if you have that soda or beer, it's important to crush it, or you can just put it in this bag. So this rice bag is for aluminum only, okay? We have a lot of trash systems on this ship, so we're all on the boat trash systems. Soda, beer, Okay, we'll try to split it up best we can. Yeah, so getting on, the easiest way to get on is just how Jack's got it down already. Jack's up down, just right through the side of the boat. Come on up, guys. Let's go boat.
The Happy Rafters were last seen alive on June 18th. Just kidding. Time for still.
Same Princess Sarah. Different Sarah. You need a hand pushing off at all?
Yeah. Okay, but there's definitely going to be time. Thank you.
Yeah, if you do, let me know. There. Get my rag wet. Please. Not rag. Hi, sailor.
Yeah, dude. Someone else there.
That girl with all the skin showing is gonna regret not having a long sleeve shirt on.
Hey, you worry about yourself. Hey, did you test the height limit? You must be this tall to ride this ride? Yeah.
There's a positive correlation between age and percentage of skin covered. The older people are wiser. I can't really tell what's in frame. I can't see a darn thing on my viewfinder because it's so bright out. Bon voyage. I wonder if I can get down to Navajo Bridge before they do. I don't think I'll try. Interesting question though. I've got an hour to spare here. Alright, let's take a look at these oar boats. Flows are pretty low, about 14,000 cubic feet per second. Multiply that by 7.48 to get gallons. Those are a little too small for my taste. I do like the idea of not having an engine making noise though. However, after my capsizing in Cataract Canyon, I'm more inclined to prefer large boats. Alright, bye-bye boats. Alright, I just discovered an interesting difference between the oar tour and the motor tour. The oar tour people have helmets. Interesting. What does that tell us? This is interesting. I wondered if the passenger rafts had enough capacity for all the supplies necessary, and this raft seems to answer that question. It is packed with freight, so to speak, and there's no sign of any seating. So I guess he's going to shadow the other rafts, the other blue rafts, and support them. Maybe he even serves as a bit of a lifeguard. On the Navtech trips, the oar boats are accompanied by a rubber boat, and it's the job of the guy in the rubber boat, the powered rubber boat, to pick up the people that fall out of the oar boats. Don't know why he's not leaving though. Well, the cavalry has just arrived. That truck says Western River Expeditions on it. I think that is one of the companies that was bought up by private equity. They've got big blue rafts. I've never seen a semi being used for rafting before. It would be kind of difficult to drag huge rafts on and off of a semi. So I'll be very interested to see what's in there. Maybe they have some specialized equipment for offloading and loading rafts. Pretty sure I've seen Western rafts on trailers though, just standard boat / raft trailers. Two people in the truck at least, maybe a third. One jumped out, now a second's jumping out. Somebody's backing. I suppose they could back it into the water to the point where the floor of the semi is even with the water level. Seems risky. Also seems like a good way to pollute the river. Also seems like a good way to damage the wheel bearings and brakes and things. Guess he wasn't happy with that line. Alright, whatever you're going to do it faster. This is getting a little dull. Alright, I'm going to walk down there and see what happens. Here's a good raft trailer. It's got rollers on it. Alright, let's go check out Western. Oh look, the yellow boats are leaving. Off they go. Okay, they've got some kind of a derrick sort of thing hanging out of the rear end of the truck. I see what's going on here. The rafts are rolled up, so they're going to have to blow them up. Oops, I got distracted and missed the start of the unloading. Battery's running low. We may get cut off unexpectedly here.
We'll try. Let's just try unfolding it. Maybe we can pull it forward upwards.
Do you need to get out there?
No, you're all right.
So I wonder what they do when they inflate a boat and find that it has a leak. Do they have a spare with them? Do they patch it? Does somebody just have to blow into a tube for the whole trip?
Well, then we gotta fold it back too, so we'll have to have Ross come back.
Yeah.
I don't think I really have enough battery left to record this whole process. You can kind of imagine how it goes, right? They unfold it, they blow it up, they put stuff in. Okay, here comes the frame. It's a pretty neat, pretty neat system. Oh, so it's like a little bridge crane. Alright, I think we see how this ends. Okay, I'm dying to know what happens with these crumb and aluminum canoes. That would result in immediate death if you went into a rapid. Maybe it's a kayak horseshoe bend. Okay, so maybe they tow the Grummins up stream and then people just float back down. What do you think? Seems logical. June 19th, 2025, Lee's Ferry. It's about 1 p.m. Hatch is preparing for a trip here. Right now he's inflating an outrigger, sausage thing. And down there's a semi-inflated one that I guess is about to be attached to that raft over there. Hatch and Arizona Raft Adventures are the only two family-owned local private rafting companies in existence anymore. All the others are corporate or private equity owned. Like the orange stripe. June 21st, 2025. It is 50 years and 1 day since Jaws hit the big screen, and 32 years, 1 month, and 1 day since Cheers' final episode. We are at Lee's Ferry, and a number of companies are departing this morning. I guess this company is Crate. Never heard of them before. I like how they have these folding chairs strapped down in the front. That's something I've never seen before. Kind of cool. Grand Canyon Expeditions. All the bags are nicely organized on the front. I guess we could call this the Good Ship Lollipop or something, based on the umbrella. And then here's the Arizona Raft Adventures departure. This is one of only two legacy family-owned companies on the river. And then, I don't know who we have here. National Park Express is what it says on the bus. There's a lot of beer going on that thing. So there you have it. Busy June 21st. Okay, now I see the name of this company, Grand Canyon Whitewater. They are doing a 7-day motor trip, and then the Arizona Raft Adventure oar boats are doing a 14-day, and then the Arizona Raft Adventure big boats are doing an 8-day. And I don't know what the last group of rafts is doing. They're blue. So they've just finished their briefing for the oar boats. And I guess these guys will be going pretty soon. All groups now boarding. red ball is to mark the, I don't know what you call it, trolley, the wire that goes across the river. I haven't really been able to figure out where the road was from the east bank, from Lee's Ferry up the east bank towards Antelope Pass. I don't see anything, no scratches. It looks like that plain over there floods pretty substantially. So I think maybe traces of the road at this elevation, low elevation, have just been erased. So down there is the Navajo Ridge and the Grand Canyon. Bon voyage. Viewpoint here has me freaked out a little bit. Not that big a drop, 150 feet, 100 feet maybe. But it's very crumbly sandstone. And trust me, I bet it's too close to the edge anymore. Then there's where I'm parked by the white trailer at the far end of the lot on the right side. Alright. I'm not sure I want to wait for the ore boat departure. I think I'm just going to climb down now. A few minutes later now, the blue boats are just about to the bend. The 14 days still hasn't left. Meetings, meetings, and more meetings. Alright, here comes another busload of passengers. Are they for the Arizona Raft big boats, or are they for the blue boats on the upstream end? I do not know. Just lost. My money's on the blue boats. Maybe the white boats. Earlier, Arizona Raft Adventures had a school bus. So they have a school bus and a coach. This bus doesn't have any graphics on it, and the Arizona Raft Adventures the school bus had nice graphics. the ore boats, the ore boat passengers parked at Flagstaff, so they only had a 2-hour ride. That would be okay in a school bus. The powerboat passengers are coming from Las Vegas, so I guess it would make sense for them to be on a coach bus. To me like that bus is for the big white boats. It is getting windy here. Alright, here they go. The dory is leading the pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little white boats. And the people from the coach bus are definitely going to the raft. Covered boats. I don't imagine you can hear this narration. I just noticed there's a tiny bit of whitewater right over there. Not enough to get anywhere. What's going on with this one here? Is it just me, or does that look a little low in the water? I guess it's just me. The dory's moving right along. Look, furless bipeds. Where they're going. Ow, I just got bit on the back of my knee by something. Alright, safe travels, little white rafts. Time for me to go down there. Yeah, I called that. This bus is run by Triple J Tours, Las Vegas, Nevada. And their passengers are, in fact, boarding the white Arizona Raft Adventures boats. That is an 8-day trip. Good times. Here comes some high-speed traffic from the direction of the dam. You can hear them coming for a long ways. Uh-oh. June 21st, 2025, we're going to launch a private raft. You're going the wrong way though. Alright, he's realized his mistake. Now he's going towards the water. Hello, Raven. The ravens always walk around with their mouths open, as though they're very hot. Trailer's got rollers on the deck. Okay, so I guess they won't drive it in too deep. It, 80 feet. I can't imagine that the river's 80 feet deep in the Grand Canyon. Flow right now is about 11K. Water level's not very high. Alright, my arm's getting sore. Alright, here we go. Kind of looks like you still got a rope attached there on the bow. Need a little lube. Kind of sounds like there's a winch involved. Oh crap, they stored stuff under the raft for the trip to the water. Now they can't get it out from underneath. Life jackets. Why wouldn't you back the trailer in a little more? Obviously, I have no idea about this process. No experience. If it was me, I'd back the trailer in and float the raft off the trailer. Maybe there's a big drop off or something. Alright, we'll come back to this. Yeah, there's definitely a winch. See, he controls the winch from there. I wonder why they're putting in it in the evening. That means they have to make camp right away. There are the life jackets. They got them out. Now, let's get that boat in the river. I wonder how much a used raft like that costs. Ta-da! All right.
Back, let it out. Let it out. Which one, left or right? We want it out.
Somebody needs to remember to hold on to the raft. Okie dokie. Nice evening. It's pretty chilly today. 80 something. 86, 87. Yesterday it was 105. Good thing I brought my mittens today. There we go. There's a steel cable that runs parallel to the water line, and it's anchored about every 50 feet or so. It's really handy for boats that need to tie up. Alright, my goal was to get a video of the launch process. I feel I have accomplished that goal. What's going on here? This guy appears to be pedaling. It's a new one. Earlier I said it was 6/21, 2025. It's actually 6/22, 2025. It is June 25th, 2025. I am on a rock overlooking Lee's Ferry. And a couple minutes ago, the sun was out and you could see my shadow on the rock there. But look, a cloud has just moved in. Precisely at the moment I needed the sun. It's very red. So that gray band over there is supposed to be composed of a mosaic of different bright colors. I've not seen it up close, and I'm not really sure I'm buying that. Yeah, Glen Canyon Dam is that way. Flow today is probably about 11,000 cubic feet per second. That's what it's been pretty much every day for the last week or so. Lake level is about 3564, I think. Maybe 3563, and it's headed down already. It has peaked for the year. There was a lot of sublimation of snow this year because of dust. Dust lands on the snow, heats it up, and it sublimates instead of melting. At least that's what I was told. So peak runoff has already reached the lake, and the lake is headed down. I imagine that it'll bottom out around probably 3540, maybe 3535. Lowest it's been lately was, I think, 22 or something. It got all the way down to like 3510 or so. Crazy low. That would have only been 20 feet above the highest straw, the lowest straw for hydroelectric generation. 3490. I can't remember what the elevation of the river outlet works, or the outlet works is. That's just the tubes that bypass at 15,000 cubic feet per second of bypass capacity. I think it's about 30 or 40 feet below the lowest straw for the turbines. Yeah, there's very cold water down there, 47 degrees, I think somebody said. So if you put a aluminum beverage can that's at the ambient temperature, which is like about 95, 97, into the water, it is supposed to reach near water temperature in about 7 minutes. I haven't really figured out where the road from the other side of Lee's Ferry was. Obviously it would go probably out and around if it left to minimize grade. Go up that way, it's pretty steep rather quickly. It's steep and it gets steeper quickly. Alright, I think I'll sit here for a little while. There I am. Right there. Alright, it's about 6 p.m. and the yellow rafts are finally leaving. I guess they're going to have to camp pretty quickly. One of the rafts is blue. You know how you know you're gay? You have a rainbow umbrella on your raft. It is June 26th, 2025, and I have found a new source of entertainment at Lee's Ferry. Watching people who don't know how to back, trying to get their rafts into the river. I didn't start this recording quickly enough though. I missed the first attempt. And this is actually going pretty well now. How's he gonna play this? That's kind of an awkward trailer for a raft. Is he gonna submerge the whole trailer? Is he gonna drag the raft off? What will he do? Alright, we'll revisit this in a second. June 26, 2025, Lee's Ferry. I guess it's about 1 p.m. Not much happening here today. I missed the morning wave of departures, and the afternoon preps for tomorrow's departures haven't begun. It's probably about 95 out. Reasonably comfortable. Alright, I don't think there's going to be anything entertaining about this. Yeah. Wouldn't have done that with my raft. I think I would have backed the trailer up a little bit further and dropped the raft into water. Alright, so that's the end of that. June 27th, 2025, Lee's Ferry. It's about 9 a.m. Everybody's got a different raft configuration, don't they? This one has elevated outrigger sausages. I've not seen that before. And then down there, I don't know what company it is. They've got more conventional outrigger tube thingies. I'm sure there's a better word for these things. These other rafts say Grand Canyon Expeditions Company. It's 10:44 a.m. and the passengers for the white boats have arrived, or gray, I don't know. Hear that? That bus has got the noisiest condenser motor I've ever heard. Apparently there's a sorority trip. June 28th, 2025. Busy day at the raft station. Lots of people boarding. So what do we have here? We have Arizona River Runners, 2 blue rafts. Not sure who the white ones are. I can't read the whole name. I think I'll walk around to the other side. He always honks his horn. What does that say? Grand Canyon Expeditions Company. The white raft says USGS on it. That's interesting. The white rafts both have jibs on them. Grand Canyon Whitewater is the name on those 2 blue rafts. And then, I don't know about the yellow. Oh, there's a couple dories. I don't think I want to go through rapids on one of those. Alright. Commercial left, private right. Oars. I saw them capsize at Cataract Canyon. Alright. Off they go. This is interesting. Oars is about to depart. They've got 3 dories with passengers, and behind me are their 3 yellow rafts. And the yellow rafts are only carrying freight. Looks like 2 people. Well, 2 people on 2 of the rafts and 1 person on the 3rd raft. So teal, red, and black, I guess. Those are cool looking boats. Not something I'd want to ride in. Not in rapids.
It's happening.
Alright, they're off. June 29th, 2025, Lee's Ferry. It's about 9:20 a.m. I think. Seems about right. Got Arizona River Runners and Hatch, both departing. Hatch is one of the legacy tour companies, family owned. What's going on with this white one here? May not be Hatch.
Go ahead and put your
Nope, it is Canyoneers. And I think that one out there on the water is also Canyoneers. Cool. Alright, now I've seen everything. What the hell is that? I think it's some kind of ground launched torpedo. There's this thing. I'm not entirely convinced it's going to float. It kind of looks like if a child had made a drawing of a raft and then a raft was fabricated from the drawing. Proportions aren't quite right. Doesn't look like it displaces much water. I've coined a new term, buttkini. A buttkini is a little scrap of fabric that doesn't really cover your butt. Alright, these people are making a bold choice. They're backing the trailer far into the water. What they don't know is that there's drop-offs. I've seen swimmers walking around down there, and every so often they plunge into the water when they walk over the edge of a rock ledge or something. If they were to put the wheel of the trailer off of a rock ledge, I think they'd have a hard time getting it out. Oh, looks like they're going to try to push the raft off. That trailer does not have any rollers on it. It's a lot of friction. I say lubricate it with a bucket of water before you try that. Need some lube. June 30th, 2025, 5:12 p.m. I'm at Lee's Ferry. There is nothing happening here. Nothing at all. There aren't even any chipmunks or birds here to greet me today. It's just dead. It's really hot out. I haven't seen a thermometer, but it was supposed to be like 105 today. I have no reason to believe that Mother Nature failed to deliver. It's very hot. So, I did notice that Colonel Hogan's Ranger vehicle is here, which suggests that there will be a briefing later on. It's right over there. You can see the white roof sticking up above the tamarisk. I have reason to believe that private trip briefings are nightly here. So, I think I will be rewarded if I wait for a while. I don't know what's up with those bags down there. That's kind of puzzling. There's a couple blue rafts on the kayak dock. Not sure what that's all about. Boy, I'm a fountain of information tonight. In summary, nothing happening.